The GOAT, 7-time Super Bowl winner Tom Brady, speaks on Lamar Jackson. That is what we are discussing on today's show. If you're not that locked into the college football world, it's okay. I'm locked in enough for all of us. The Joel Klatt Show, hosted by Fox lead college football analyst Joel Klatt, had Tom Brady on his podcast late last week, around this past weekend, and they talked a lot of college football, obviously, but they also talked a lot of NFL football because, as you all know, Tom Brady is now the lead analyst for Fox when it comes to their NFL coverage. And Joel Klatt asked Tom Brady, he said, are there any guys in the league, talking about the NFL, that you really respect the way they go about their business, or that maybe they even remind you a little bit of you? Well, I think, obviously, his first answer was going to be Patrick Mahomes. And that's the guy he spoke on to begin that question with, right? Talked a lot about his drive, talked a lot about his ability to win. But then down that rabbit trail, he made his way to three quarterbacks we are very familiar with here on the show. One especially, which is Lamar Jackson. Because he then discussed Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, where they've been in their careers, and what they need to change to finally get to where Patrick Mahomes has been and where Tom Brady has been 7 times. I'll tell you exactly how he answered that question, what he had to say about Lamar Jackson in just a couple of seconds. Before that, make sure you guys have your notifications on, okay? Because now that we're getting into football season, this content is going to be even bigger than it has been over the entirety of the offseason. And I don't want you to miss anything, frankly, okay? We do this thing daily, and when breaking news happens, I want you guys to be there. So the way that happens, you guys got to turn those notifications on. We got 3,988 real ones in what I like to call the Noti flock. My goal is to get 4,000 real ones. So I need 12 people to turn those notifications on. And if you got your notifications on and you're in what we like to call the Noti flock, go ahead, give me a real one in the comment section down below. All you got to do is subscribe, hit that notification bell, and click those to all. So let's reset here. Joel Klatt's question to Tom Brady was, are there any guys in the league that you really respect the way they go about their business or maybe remind you of you? After he talked Patrick Mahomes, he said, there's other guys that are still developing. They've all shown flashes of amazing things. At some point, they need to take that next step and take, in my mind, more ownership of what they're doing in terms of the organizational level. He mentioned Lamar, Joe, Josh Allen, all by name. To do more things, to empower more people, to get more people on that train with you to head in the direction that you want to go. I've got multiple thoughts on this, on what Tom had to say, on what that means for Lamar Jackson. My first thought is honestly he has no clue what Lamar Jackson is doing behind the scenes. Not one. Sure, if he calls a game that Lamar Jackson's playing, he'll have meetings with him, Zoom meetings, that is. But outside of that, he doesn't know what Lamar Jackson's doing every single day in the facility. He doesn't know the role and the relationship that Lamar Jackson has with his teammates. And I would argue that Lamar has taken massive steps in his leadership abilities. From what we saw of Lamar Jackson year one to where Lamar Jackson was last year and where he is now, that is leaps and bounds ahead of what we saw, okay? And the cool thing about Lamar Jackson is he knows he's not done improving on that aspect of his game. He says, I just pretty much lead by example. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to work hard, and I expect that out of you. But as I've been growing in the league, like we talked about, it's like, no, you've got to talk to the guys. Coaches like to tell me, you've got to talk to the guys. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to them one-on-one. Certain things I'm seeing, I've got to voice it more, voice my opinion more to those guys. So Lamar Jackson, he knows his leadership capabilities, his leadership just in general. He knows it's grown a lot from when he was a rookie, but he also knows that continues. That needs to continue to grow. Do you think Lamar will ever win a Super Bowl? It's a polarizing question. I hope that you think yes, because I think yes, okay? You let me know your answer in the comment section down below. If you think he'll win a Super Bowl, go ahead and give me a yes. And if you don't, for whatever reason, Give me a no, but don't just do that, okay? Tell me why you don't think he'll win a Super Bowl. Just let me know in the comments. This is exactly like I said what Tom is saying. Lamar Jackson is doing it, okay? Tom said those guys need to take more ownership. It seems like Lamar Jackson is taking more ownership. And I think that's going to make a really big difference, in my opinion, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but the defensive side of the ball as well. Not just how they play, but how they practice, how they work out, right? How they do everything. And that's kind of where I lean towards Tom Brady's opinion in this matter. Because, yes, I still believe he doesn't know what Lamar Jackson's doing around the scenes, or behind the scenes, I should say. But also, Tom Brady knows what it takes to win. And if there's one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sit here and question Tom Brady's opinion when it comes to winning Super Bowls. Because he's done it 7 times. He's done it enough to where I think nobody should have to question if he knows what it takes or not to win a Super Bowl. Now, how that fits in with Lamar, I still have all the confidence in the world that he's going to win. I've had that confidence for years. I'm going to continue to have that confidence in Lamar Jackson. If Baltimore makes their way back to a Super Bowl, it's going to be because Lamar led them there. And I know the narrative, right? He can't do it. He's too late into his career. He's too far gone. He's never going to win a Super Bowl. Guys, I know I've showed you this before, but that narrative's old. It doesn't make sense. Just because you haven't done something doesn't mean you can't do something, right? All those guys, John Elway, Steve Young, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, they all got told after 6, 7 seasons in their career, these guys just probably can't win the big one. They're never going to do it. Guess what? They all did it. Some of them did it multiple times as well. And we've already seen over the past couple of seasons, since Todd Monken has came into the picture, Lamar Jackson has improved a ton in the playoffs. I know a lot of people have the playoff gripe about him. He doesn't play his best football in the playoffs. But since Todd Monken's been the OC, 66.7% completion percentage, 843 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks, 274 rush yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. That's 9 touchdowns total, over 1,000 yards in total. He's gotten a lot better, and I believe that growth is going to continue as he gets older. But it's not just Lamar that needs to be better, right? It's this team as a whole. If you look at the turnovers forced in playoff games, 2 in the last 8 of them played. That has to change. But like Tom Brady said, part of that comes with Lamar Jackson taking ownership on both sides of the football, being the leader on both sides of the football. This is a team, okay? Not just quarterbacks win Super Bowls. Tom Brady will tell you that. Everybody who's won a Super Bowl will tell you that. It's the team that does it. Just so happens, Lamar Jackson's the leader of this team. So yes, I think he's done a ton for this organization, and I think he's grown a ton in his leadership, and I think that needs to continue if he wants to hoist that Lombardi trophy. If you think he can win a Super Bowl this year, show me by liking today's video, okay? Hit that thumbs up button if you think this is the year Lamar Jackson hoists that trophy. Make sure you guys head down if you want to hoist a trophy of your own to chatsports.com/purple hoodie for $34. You can get this Ravens purple hoodie, okay? Frankly, I'd rather have this than the Super Bowl trophy. I think it's a better deal. $34 for a officially licensed Baltimore Ravens hoodie. It's about to get very cold in Baltimore, okay? I know that as a fact. M&T Bank Stadium, it's not warm in late December. It's not warm in early January. I know that. And by the time you want a hoodie, they're not going to be $34 anymore. Okay, chatsports.com/purple hoodie. I'll put that link in the comments and description of today's video. Before we head out of here, one last kind of note to wrap up on. I don't know if you saw this, but Todd Monken spoke on Daniel Faalele. And I don't know if you've seen all the slander of him over the past, 5 days since the preseason game, but it's been pretty large. Todd Monken said it was one play, talking about a play where Faalele just pretty much whiffed, gave up a sack. That was one example. I can't imagine any of us having one example of something in our life, and that's who they are. That's the silliest stuff I've ever heard in my life. It's just the way it is. It is the world we live in, right? It's the world we live in. Todd Monken, I love you. But you sound like a grandpa in that statement, okay? And I get the sentiment. I get what you're saying. You can look at every single person's life and pick out one 5-second segment, and you could say, okay, this person's a bad person because of this. This person's bad at their job because of this. That's not how we should live life. I agree with that. But with Daniel, it's not just one play. It's not. He was awful in the preseason game. Awful. And we're supposed to expect this guy as taking a leap from last year to this year? We had a 61.8 overall grade, a 63.5 pass block grade, and a 51.8 run block grade? And I get it, PFF. It's not gospel. It's not the end-all, be-all. But it's a good measuring tool. There's a reason why we use it. Last year, 60.5 PFF grade, 58.5 pass block grade, 63.2 run block grade. He's just consistently a little below average. And I get it. Todd Monken probably loves him. The group probably loves him. But he's not good at his job. Plain and simple. It's clear that Baltimore, they see him as the starter. Todd Monken, John Harbaugh, this organization, they've made that 100% clear. Because if they didn't have that conviction in their minds that, okay, he's the best guy for the job, he wouldn't have it right now. Because he hasn't played good enough, in my opinion, to keep it. He just hasn't. And if you think he has, you're not watching the right football, okay? Don't hold your breath for him getting benched because it's not going to happen. And sure, he showed some great stretches last year. He had some great plays last year, but he also had a lot of bad. And so far this season, the 1 year everybody's expecting him to take that massive step up, we're not seeing it yet. If I were Eric DeCosta, I would go sign free agent guard Brandon Scherf. Play with the Jacksonville Jaguars all 16 games last year, only allowed 1 sack. He's a veteran. He's been in this league a very long time, and I think he'd be a better option. But in terms of what this roster already has, who would you rather start? Would you rather it be Faalele or would you rather it be Ben Cleveland? Let me know in the comment section down below by typing their initials to give me a DF or a BC. Who would you rather start at right guard? Thanks so much for tuning in today. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you follow us on social media. And if you're here as well, make sure you like the video too. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time.